I want to say it was 2 years ago. There was a lady that got arrested for allegedly. Well, we ain't got to say allegedly no more because she was just convicted. There was a lady that was arrested for poisoning her husband by putting antifreeze in his food, in his drink, and all kinds of stuff. So it was antifreeze poisoning. Now she went back. That was in 2023. She went to jail. We'll play the article. She's actually been sentenced to life without parole. Now, I remember hearing about this, but obviously so much stuff happens that after a day, you kind of forget it. You know what I mean? We just had the biggest scandal that we've had when it comes to the military, the whole signal gate. They aren't really trying to talk about that too much more. They're trying to sweep it under the rug, but no, it's still there. So this happened in 2023. So we'll play this article and then we'll play this video and then we'll go into the article.
Tonight, a North Dakota woman accused of poisoning her long-term boyfriend with antifreeze as part of an alleged plot to inherit part.
Wait a minute. This ain't the right one. That's crazy. So yeah, this one is 2021. This lady's is 2023. It's the same exact story. Antifreeze. They really think they can get away with this. All right. WTXL Tallahassee. Thomasville woman sentenced to life without parole for husband's poisoning. Torrii Fedrick Robinson had been convicted of deleting Phil Frederick by poisoning him with antifreeze. Thomasville, Georgia, after nearly 3 years of an investigation and legal proceedings, Torrii Fredrick Robinson has been found guilty of deleting her husband, Phil Frederick, by poisoning him with antifreeze. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole Thursday morning. The case began in September 2021 when the Thomas County Sheriff's Office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation launched an inquiry after an autopsy revealed that the 40-year-old had antifreeze in his system. TCSO says Frederick was taken into Archibald Memorial Hospital, where the emergency room staff suspected poisoning. He died a week later. Investigators ruled out accidental exposure, leading to Robinson's arrest in November 2022. So, antifreeze. Me, when I hear antifreeze poisoning, I'm thinking these individuals really, really hate that person. Now, the reason I mean, obviously, if you're trying to poison anybody, you hate them. But to use like antifreeze and not even put in the effort to try to find something that's non-traceable, it just shows you how dumb these people are and how bad they really wanted to get rid of them. And a lot of times they want to get rid of these people for petty reasons. It definitely isn't warranting unaliving somebody. You know what I mean? So for them to get antifreeze and just slowly put it in shit, because you're not gonna be able to just drink a whole thing of antifreeze without noticing it. So it is little bits, little bits, little bits. And they've been doing this over time. It's probably got to be at least a 2-3 month time span that they were doing this, and his body eventually broke down, started eroding from the inside. So that's why I say when people do this, they try to say it's a crime of passion. Hell no. You playing this shit out. You were doing this for a while. You seen it on TV somewhere, like Kendall said, on the ID channel. You seen it on Snapped or something like that. But you're planning this out. It's not like you're trying to go get acid and make this immediate. It's not like you're trying to suffocate them and try to get it over with right now. You're fucking making this person suffer. Robinson had denied wrongdoing, with her defense team arguing she wasn't responsible for his death, but rather it was a result of a suicide attempt. But evidence pointed to deliberate poisoning. Sheriff Tim Watkins, who worked the case, thanked the jury and said they came back with the correct verdict. You can watch his full statement below. Let's see what the lawyer had to say. Yeah, man, it's a wild world we live in.
First, we'd like to thank the jury for taking the time to hear this case, deliberate on it, and come back with what we believe is the correct verdict. We'd like to thank the GBI and the investigators, of course, with the Thomas County Sheriff's Office for almost 2 years of dogged investigations into this case. Our heart goes out to the family of Mr. Phil Fredrick and especially his kids because they've lost their dad and now their mom. I can't express how concerned we are for their well-being and welfare going forward. But we think that was a right decision made by the jury, and Mr. Phil Fredrick died the most painful death that anyone could actually endure. Staff at the hospital did an excellent job of recognizing the symptoms that he had when he was admitted to the hospital. They suspected poisoning, and they did the right testing to verify that. It actually took a week for them to get the results back and then notify law enforcement once those results were found. Okay. In suicides and accidental death, the mechanism of death is always there, present at the scene or where the victim is. Okay. If they use a gun, the gun's there. If they use pills, the pills and the drink are there. If they fall off a ladder, the ladder's there. If they fall out of a limb out of a tree falls and hit them on the head, the limb's there. Only in homicides, the mechanism of death is not there. We could not find the antifreeze or the brake fluid. Well, the first thing that we noticed was the day he was admitted to the hospital, she called the ambulance for him approximately 7:30 that morning. She showed up at the hospital in the afternoon. She stayed for 30 minutes and left and didn't come back and check on him. Now, if you're
that right there is a
doctors tell
telltale
you your
sign.
loved one probably won't make it through the night, I would hope and think and pray that you would go back and check on him after you went to a meeting, and that was suspicious behavior, very suspicious behavior. And she still had not cried over Phil in our presence. It was a tough case. I don't think anyone's tried in this area has tried a poison case before. It's a difficult case to prove because of it's all medical evidence.
So there hasn't been any like similar poisoning cases here in Thomas County?
Not that I've worked, and I've been here 32 years in investigations. I haven't done any poison cases. We've done some accidental poison cases where someone, we had a young man that actually had a beer bottle full of insecticide and drunk the insecticide. So we've had accidental poisons, but not a homicide.
Homicide, yeah.
Yeah, well. Let me see if this article has anything else. Thomasville woman sentenced to life. New private school coming to Tallahassee. So they just lumped this all in together. Friday, March 28th, below the top stories. On Thursday, March 27th, the jury found Torrii Fedrick Robinson guilty of the 2021 deletion of Phil Fredrick by poisoning him with antifreeze. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. This is the type of articles you get right here, man. Like one day you're here, the next you're gone, and that's what the media gave you. One paragraph. Thomasville woman sentenced to life without parole for husband's poisoning. On Thursday, March 27th, the jury found Torrii Fedrick Robinson guilty of the 2021 deletion of Phil Fredrick by poisoning him with antifreeze. Tim Watkins, the sheriff, worked the case, and you can watch his statement below. That's what the follow-up is right there, one paragraph. Now, I'm pretty sure when this happened, obviously it was more news coverage for it. But for her, like, hey, you threw your life away. You get one paragraph. Your whole life is summed up in this one paragraph. What did Torrii do in life? Man, you remember Torrii Fredrick we went to school with? Yeah, man, she unalived her husband. That's the only thing you're going to remember about. No one cares. We don't care about the memories, the good times your family had. This is what we're going to remember you by. And we're not even going to remember you. After we go to this next article, we're going to forget all about this article. That's how life is, man. Just like that. It could be all gone. No one cares about Torrii Fedrick. All right. Now we got another article. We kind of speeding it up because I got to cut these up. You know, we got a live tonight. So this is another article we have, and this is fairly recent also. You know, I think this happened over the weekend, or no, not the. I think this is like Thursday or Friday.